And joining me now for more on this from Beirut is Maha Yahya, who's the director of the Carnegie Middle East Center. Good to see you again. Thanks so much for being here with us. So we heard President Trump, he started out saying he'd intervene if Iran kept killing protesters. Now he's talking about the nuclear program. The rationale kind of keeps changing. So is he just looking for basically any excuse to strike, do you think?
Good morning, Kim. Thank you for having me. Look, it's not clear, honestly. I mean, there's a massive military buildup in the region. President Trump, shifts the targets constantly, and it's not just on Iran. Overall, we see him shifting positions very rapidly. Usually, it's just a tweet or something on social media. So it's not clear. What a lot of us are struggling with is trying to understand how the United States is going to leverage its military capacities with some sort of a political outcome. And that political outcome until now is not clear. If they're looking for regime change, this is incredibly complicated in a country like Iran. The repercussions, the regional repercussions will be massive. The Iranian regime today, as we saw with the degree of violence with which the protests were met a few weeks ago, we're hearing astronomical numbers of people killed. So the regime is seeing this, the Iranian regime is seeing this as an existential crisis, even more so than the 12-day war with Israel last year. So it's not clear what President Trump and his administration is aiming for. If it's to weaken and bring, we hear talks of diplomacy and yet a military buildup. It could be used for greater pressure on Iran. But again, the outcome that they're looking for, to my mind, is still not clear.
Yeah, so if the outcome isn't clear, I suppose neither are the targets. I mean, do you think Trump could actually go directly after Iran's leadership?
Oh, I think he's more than capable of doing that. And that's extremely worrisome because it's not, there's the political leadership, but then there's the religious leadership. Khamenei today is not just a political leader, he's also, at least for some Shias around the world, he's their kind of higher authority. A semi-pope, if you like. But so the repercussions there are significant. It will aggravate religious tensions with at least part of the Shia community worldwide, not all of it, of course. So that's one. The other repercussions on the immediate vicinity, we're talking Afghanistan, we're talking Pakistan, we're talking Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iraq. The regional repercussions are enormous if there's going to be an attempt to push for a regime change. This is a country of 90 million people. This is a multi-ethnic, multi-sectarian country. You have Kurds, Baluch, Persians, Arabs, among many others. So the dangers of going in the way that we're seeing the military buildup are huge. And if chaos were to ensue, then the kind of fragmentation we might see within the country and the kind of civil strife will really have a ripple effect far beyond Iran itself.
Yeah.
And I think today, just one last thing, is I think for Iranians today, they see, for the regime at least, they see themselves stuck between the maximalist requests from the Americans, from the administration of President Trump, on the nuclear file, on enrichment, on ballistic missiles, and on the regional influence of Iran. So they're seeing a lot of maximalist demands from their perspective. These are maximalist demands from the US administration. And if they were to give in to these things, they would lose even more legitimacy internally. So they're kind of stuck from their perspective, between a rock and a hard place. It's a war they can't win, but it's also one they cannot afford to lose internally, because then that means that the regime will lose some of its control over the country.
Yeah, and we heard from our reporter in Tehran that Iran is willing to negotiate. Certainly plenty of countries in the region hoping to engineer a diplomatic off-ramp here. We'll have to leave it there. Maha Yahya, thank you so much for speaking with us. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.